The potential future policies of Donald Trump could significantly impact the lives of many Asians dreaming of America, with some countries possibly facing travel bans or visa rejections. This discussion explores 7 Asian countries that might face increased scrutiny regarding U.S. entry in 2025, detailing the stated reasons behind these potential restrictions. 7. Vietnam. Vietnam is highlighted as one of the countries that could face immigration limitations under a future Trump administration in 2025. Many Vietnamese travel to America for work, study, or to visit family, but restrictions may be imposed due to an ongoing issue regarding deportation reciprocity. The U.S. government claims that Vietnam is not sufficiently accepting the return of its citizens who are ordered deported from the United States. When a country fails to take back its citizens who have been ordered to leave the U.S., the American government has the authority to block new visas for that country's nationals. The U.S. government believes the Vietnamese government is too slow in processing these cases. Trump is cited as potentially using this as a warning. As a result, fewer visas are reportedly being approved. This delay has already affected students planning to study in the U.S., stalled family reunions, and led to canceled flights reported by travel agencies. If Vietnam does not resolve this issue promptly, it could damage its relationship with America, potentially slowing down trade, tourism, and education between the two nations. The Vietnamese government is under pressure to act quickly before more citizens are affected, demonstrating how a single political decision can change thousands of lives. 6. Cambodia. Cambodia is also listed among the countries that may face U.S. entry restrictions in 2025. Historically, many Cambodians have immigrated to America for work and family reunification. The reason for the potential limitations is attributed to the U.S. government's claim that Cambodia is not adequately assisting with deportation cases. When the U.S. seeks to repatriate individuals who have overstayed their visas or violated immigration laws, Cambodia is often slow or refuses to accept them. Consequently, Trump is depicted as pushing for stronger travel restrictions as a punitive measure. His perspective is that countries must comply with U.S. rules or risk losing visa privileges. This potential policy is already causing difficulties for Cambodian families, with many visa applications delayed and approved papers being subject to re-examination. Students and workers planning travel to the U.S. face extended waiting periods and additional interviews. A failure by Cambodia to resolve this with the U.S. could worsen the situation, impacting businesses, families, and travelers, and potentially weakening the bilateral relationship. For many Cambodians pursuing opportunities in America, this potential policy feels like a diminishing chance for their future. 5. Bhutan. Surprisingly, Bhutan, a small and generally peaceful nation, is mentioned as a country that could be included on a list of nations facing U.S. entry limitations in 2025. This inclusion has caused shock due to Bhutan's minimal involvement in international disputes. The primary reasons cited for the potential stand are security concerns and visa control. U.S. reports suggest that a small number of travelers from Bhutan have used fraudulent documents when applying for visas or have overstayed their authorized period. Even with low numbers, the report suggests Trump's team believes strict action is necessary to preempt possible illegal entries. As a result, new visa applications from Bhutan are reportedly undergoing more intense scrutiny, leading to delays or denials. This policy is described as harming ordinary Bhutanese citizens seeking to study, visit, or work in the U.S. Travel agencies have noted increased difficulty in obtaining approvals, and families are confused by the sudden changes. While Bhutan's government has sought clarification from the U.S. in hopes of lifting the potential rule, it remains a country that could be subject to America's stricter immigration plans. 4. Pakistan. Pakistan has long maintained a complex relationship with the U.S., fluctuating between alliance and concern. Under a potential America First policy from Donald Trump, Pakistan could once again face significant restrictions in 2025. The reason stems from Trump's past accusations that Pakistan harbors extremists and does not do enough to fight terrorism, particularly referencing his 2017-2020 term. Trump previously froze billions in military aid to Pakistan and indicated that no U.S. aid should go to countries that lie or protect terrorists. This stance resonated with American voters favoring tougher immigration and security measures. Analysts predict that a future Trump presidency could reintroduce stricter visa checks, limit student permits, or even propose a new travel restriction for Pakistanis. The effects of such actions would include uncertainty for many Pakistanis working in the U.S. regarding visa renewals, and difficulty for families trying to reunite. Conversely, proponents of Trump's policies argue these actions safeguard U.S. borders and reduce security risks. Despite tensions, Pakistan remains crucial to the U.S. for regional stability and trade. The key question is whether future policy will favor diplomacy or a security-focused crackdown. If past history is a guide, Pakistan could find itself on the unwanted list, deeply affecting thousands pursuing the American dream. 3. Iran. Iran's highly strained relationship with the U.S. continues to be one of the most challenging in modern history, and Trump's stance toward the country remains equally firm for 2025. He views Iran as a major threat due to its nuclear activities, support for armed groups, and anti-American rhetoric from its leadership. Trump's deep mistrust is rooted in his belief that Iran's government conceals dangerous programs that could threaten U.S. interests and allies, particularly in the Middle East. During his presidency, Trump withdrew the U.S. from the 2015 nuclear deal, citing it as detrimental to U.S. interests. That decision heightened tensions and resulted in new sanctions that severely impacted Iran's economy, leading to a drop in oil exports, price increases, and job losses. The argument for stricter screening or a full travel ban is based on the concern that allowing Iranian nationals to freely enter the U.S. could introduce threats linked to the Iranian government. The primary victims are ordinary Iranians, students, workers, and families, who face continuous visa rejections. Businesses that previously traded with the U.S. are also struggling due to sanctions blocking payments and shipping. If the situation does not improve, Iran could become more isolated, forcing its population to rely on limited local opportunities. The U.S. also loses opportunities for engagement with Iran's culture and skilled professionals. 2. Myanmar. Myanmar, which was once a popular destination for travelers and investors, has become one of Asia's most unstable countries following the 2021 military coup, leading to violence, protests, and political chaos. Trump's reported opinion on Myanmar is harsh, believing that the U.S. should not welcome people from a nation that lacks governmental control. The reason for potentially restricting Myanmar nationals from entering the U.S. is the claim that the country's military rule and constant human rights abuses make it unsafe and unpredictable, potentially impacting American security. In Trump's view, the situation in Myanmar illustrates how weak leadership and corruption can undermine democracy. He reportedly seeks a stronger U.S. stance, including limiting visas and business ties until the country demonstrates tangible progress toward peace. This position has created tension with other Asian leaders who argue that isolation will only worsen the crisis. The tourism sector in Myanmar has reportedly collapsed, leading to empty streets and job losses for thousands of tour guides, hotel staff, and drivers. Small businesses are closing, and families are struggling to survive. American companies that once invested in tourism and trade have withdrawn due to fears of danger and instability. If Myanmar cannot improve its image, more citizens may flee, potentially creating another refugee crisis in neighboring nations. Trump's decision to potentially limit immigration from Myanmar is presented as a matter of national security and prioritizing the protection of Americans. 1. Afghanistan. Afghanistan is named as one of the Asian countries that would be most unwelcome in the U.S. under a future Trump administration. Following the Taliban's takeover in 2021, the country's international image has severely deteriorated. Trump reportedly believes Afghanistan remains too risky and unstable to trust. The strict policy is based on the view that without a strong and secure government, it is difficult to vet entrants, which could pose a risk to American security. During his presidency, Trump added Afghanistan to his travel ban list for national security reasons, aiming to prevent individuals with malicious intentions from entering the U.S. Given the continued Taliban leadership, he reportedly believes the security situation has not improved. He often advocates for providing aid from afar but not opening U.S. borders to people from a country grappling with war and terrorism. This policy affects thousands of Afghan families. Many who assisted U.S. forces are still waiting for visas that may never materialize. Students hoping to study in America are being denied entry, and workers seeking a better life are left behind. These individuals are often described as victims of the conflict who bear the burden of their country's image. Afghanistan's economy has also collapsed, leading to a halt in tourism, job losses, and increased poverty. While many Afghans try to leave, few succeed. Trump's policy prioritizes protecting U.S. citizens first. The concluding thought is a contemplation on whether entirely closing doors is the correct approach, and whether those fleeing Afghanistan might be the ones truly seeking peace. The hope remains that trust will eventually allow both nations to rebuild ties through understanding and second chances.